Amidst all the craziness in sports, there was some tragedy over the weekend. Of course, the Plymouth Speedway involving Tony Stewart and a young driver. The dirt oval tracks is where Tony Stewart began his NASCAR career and eventually got up to superstardom. He's been known as a bit of a hothead in his sport, and a lot of people are saying that's what happened here. A little bit of anger. There's no malicious intent. It's just what happens. You had Kevin Ward Jr., a young man who got spun out, trying to come back, and of course we have that confrontation you usually see when a driver gets hit by another one. He tragically got run over by Tony Stewart. No criminal charges have been laid, but what does this say about Tony Stewart's future, even on the dirt oval racetracks that he started on?
Well, see, it's a tragedy, but I have a hard time understanding why he was there. Like, I know it's going back to his roots and where he started, but at the same time, he's a professional NASCAR driver. I believe he's a multi-millionaire. So why is he going back to these dirt tracks? And it's, I don't know, it's like a major league pitcher deciding I'm going to pick up a rec baseball game and throw my 95-mile-per-hour fastball past this guy that can't even stand at the plate. You know, I just have a hard time. Why was he there? And he was racing the next day on the NASCAR circuit. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Like, is it one of those things where his future could be in doubt now, considering what happened, or is this just one of those unfortunate things? There's still an investigation ongoing, but it doesn't look like there's anything criminally going to be charged towards Stewart.
Well, absolutely. There'll be definitely that's going to be looked upon about his future and what's going to be done and said about him, and just the rumors or whatever has been is going to play a part on his career.
What does that say? Because, for example, we'll try to relate it to your sport, Kris. If you had a tragedy that was caused by another driver, what would happen to that driver in question? Would he still be able to compete? Even if there's, say, animosity between these two, there might be a little speculation that, you know, his aggressiveness has caused this, even though there's no real evidence of it. Would that driver come back again, or would he even be ostracized by the others? Because I imagine it's much like a family, like in any other sport, right?
Oh, absolutely. It'd be tough to come back, and I don't know if the person would, just for the fact of something like that were to happen. So I guess once they get all the facts and the investigation done, it'd be same as in our sport, before they're allowed to come back or whatever happened.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens, I guess, as this continues. We'll move on to Brett Favre. I know he didn't have the necessarily greatest relationship towards the end with the Green Bay Packers, but it sounds like after all those years of animosity, they've got together and are finally retiring his number 4 jersey. Is it about time that Green Bay honored arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL?
He stood around for way too long. Like, he didn't want to retire. And they kept on telling him that, you know, it's time for us to move ahead in Green Bay, and you're not in our future anymore. So he moved on. Yeah, you know what? He was a tremendous quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Likely, if you look at all time, I don't think he's top 5 for quarterbacks of all time in the NFL. Just my opinion. I think he's a guy that padded his stats a lot on some pretty subpar teams. But for Green Bay, he is Mr. Green Bay Packer. Next to Vince Lombardi, probably the most famous Packer of all time.
He sent them to 2 Super Bowls and won 1.
Yeah, but the defense won the 2. The reason why they got to the Super Bowl, who's kidding who?
Oh, come on.
If Reggie White's
MVPs.
Reggie White's not in the lineup for that Super Bowl victory, Green Bay does not win it. They do not win it because number 4. They win it because of Reggie White.
Okay. Do you think it's about time? Because obviously, I don't know what Greg is.
He was good. I have to agree with you, Muzz. He did his job and did what he was supposed to do, and he deserves to be honored and retired in Green Bay.
See? Common sense. Greg, come on, you're losing here. Well, speaking of common sense, we'll talk about another guy who wears number 4 who's been having a little bit issues, especially last season, and I like the kid. Michael Del Zotto, 24 years old, had a great season 2 seasons ago, 42 points in his career, had a fantastic year. All of a sudden, he's in his contract year. Things don't work out in New York, they ship him off. He's having a subpar year with the Nashville Predators, and now signs a 1-year deal, making half the money he was making last season. Is it too soon to say that Michael Del Zotto is a lost cause? He's only 24 years old.
No, I don't. You know what? He's had 2 bad years. Prior to that, he was rated as one of the top defensemen in the Eastern Conference. I don't know league-wise, but in the Eastern Conference, he was one of the top defensemen when he was in New York. Things didn't go well for him. Whether they changed their defensive schemes with a new coach in New York, not sure. But you know what? Not a bad situation to get into in Philadelphia. They need somebody like him.
Well,
in
especially
Philly.
losing Kimo Timonen.
Yeah, they need him badly. So I think here's an opportunity for him to get his career back going again.
Will he do that, Kris?
Oh, I think so. Just a different fit, different team, different atmosphere. I think the kid's got lots of potential. So just that change of atmosphere might do him well.
All right, now we'll talk about outdoor hockey. It's been stated now they only have one game officially in the outdoor series. Of course, San Jose Sharks taking on the LA Kings at Levi Stadium, the new San Francisco 49ers Stadium, just outside of San Jose. And then on top of that, you also have the outdoor game, Chicago Blackhawks, Washington Capitals in Washington. Which game would you rather go see? Which outdoor game would you see?
Well, I don't want to be outside in Washington. Or rather,
You don't want to go to FedEx Field?
No.
Home of the
You know what?
Redskins.
These outdoor. How many did we have last year? We had 6.
Yeah, they're not going to have as many, but there will be
it's-
about 4 or so.
That's too many. That's 3 too many. Have one per year and be satisfied with it. Be done with it.
Oh,
The,
they
N-
got the
the
Heritage Classics
NHL's
and
milking it to the point where, you know, between Christmas and New Year's, we're going, oh, there's another outdoor game. Good. You know, flip it. Let's see if
There's
Orange
no
Wars is
nostalgia
on.
for it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm saying you'd rather go to sunny California.
Oh yeah, no doubt. You know, sitting there having a little wobbly popping and watching the game. That's great.
What about you?
That would be good in California to watch that one there too. It'd be good. But I agree with Greg that having too many games, like you said, you just flip to the station or whatever, and one or
But
two.
if you had
would
to
be-
go to a game live, would you not want to go? Don't get me wrong. I understand weather could be an issue, but Washington and FedEx Field would be awesome to go to watch a game. You got 80,000+. Not saying it wouldn't
No.
be in the new stadium, but there's a lot of character in that stadium.
So I'll tell you
why
what,
not?
if Mr. Holtby gets me tickets, right, give me a call. I will go down and watch it.
Okay, that's how you're going to sell it?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. All right, we're going to take another timeout. When we return, we will have Over Under next.